Hello, I'm Jocelyn
I'm Alexander.
and we're going to show you a very quick lunch or snack today called pizza wraps or pizzadillas. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to chop our vegetables. We've got some vegetables from the fridge. I've got some red pepper, a mushroom,
courgette, garlic.
but you can use almost whatever vegetables you have in the fridge, and you just need a wee bit. So firstly, Alexander's going to chop the vegetables for me. So if your child hasn't used a knife before, these are some really good vegetables to start off with because they're quite nice and soft and easy to cut. But your child, Alexander's just showed us two different ways of holding the vegetables and holding a knife.
They're actually the exact same.
What he's doing at the moment, we call a claw, so you have the knife will always be held in the same hand as they hold a pencil. So for Alexander, that's his right hand, and then the other hand he's using to hold the vegetable, but he's keeping it away from his fingers. So he's making them into nice little bits. And do you want to do the courgette next? So this is called the bridge. So what he has is he has his hands on one side, and the knife is going under the bridge, and so staying away from his fingers again. And that's useful for round vegetables or vegetables that are a little bit small and you can't get a good way around it. But now he's got them nice and flat, he can go back to doing the claw. Can you try and do a little bit finer the next one? You could probably do both of those in half. So for this one, can you see how fine you can get them? A little bit finer than that, honey. Yeah, good. And so we'll just chop these until they're quite nice and small, because this actually cooks very quickly. So you want the vegetables to be still in chunks so you see where they are, but not too big, because otherwise they'll just be raw, completely raw chunks of vegetable. That's pretty good. And next we'll do the mushroom, and so again we'll use the bridge to go through, and then we'll make them flat. Oh, you're going to use it twice. Fancy. There you go. Now they're in quarters, and now you can do them flat, and you can make them into nice slices again. The next thing we're going to do is our garlic clove. Hold on with the knife. Good job. And we are actually going to grate that. Not that one. This one. And he's going to use the small grater like you would to do cheese very fine. And if you have a child that's grating, you want to watch them as finely as you would if they're using a knife, because they're just as likely to hurt themselves. That's probably enough, honey. We don't really need it all. And what we're going to do is we're going to put all of these into a bowl. Can you put all of these into a bowl for me? And we'll mix them all together. I've got a little bit of cheese left in my grater.
Well, it's good when you use cheese anyway.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's fine. And next thing, can you use your fingers to give us a little mix? So what we're going to do is we're going to try and mix the garlic all amongst the vegetables, so we don't end up with a big lump of garlic, even though we like garlic. If you and your child aren't really garlic lovers, you can miss it out, but it really does add to like a nice flavour, and it's also really good for the immune system to have some garlic in your food, and it makes it taste a wee bit more like a pizza as well. That's good. I'm going to turn the heat onto my pan because we're almost ready. Alexander, can you put a little bit of tomato puree over? So he's going to use the spoon to spread over the tomato puree. And for a lot of children, that's actually an easier way of spreading than a knife. Spreading with a knife is actually much harder than you think it is, and you'll be surprised how hard a lot of children find that to be.
Well, I don't find it that hard.
Okay. You don't need to show off. If you don't have tomato puree at home, you can miss it out and it still tastes fine, or you can just put in a wee bit of fresh tomato. If you happen to have a little bit of tomato sauce left from having some tomato pasta or something like that, you can use a little bit, but it's not really worth making tomato sauce just for this. So the next thing we want to do is just sprinkle over our cheese. And you see how it's starting to look like pizza?
But with a wrap.
And so you can put on whatever kind of pizza toppings you like. So if you like to have a little bit of olives or sausage, he likes a little bit of sausage, you can put that on too. So you probably want just about a handful of our pizza toppings. That's probably, I think, yeah, 2 handfuls if you're Alexander. And then the next thing you want is a shake or a grate of the salt and pepper. Good. 1 salt, that's enough. And 1 pepper. And a little pinch of some dried herbs if you have them. So this is oregano, but you could use dried basil, mixed dried herbs, dried parsley. You could use dried thyme or rosemary. They each would add a different kind of flavour, but all would work pretty good. That's, I think, enough there. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half so it looks like a half moon. Can you do that for me? Good job. We'll get that nice and flat, and then we'll move the whole thing over to near the pan. Can you stand on your seat? Yeah, good job. So my pan's pretty nice and hot now, so I'm going to go ahead and just put my pizzadilla on there, and it will start cooking quite quickly. I've just put in a little bit of sunflower oil, just so
it doesn't stick.
Just so it doesn't stick and it makes a nice golden colour. You okay there?
Yeah.
So this just takes a few minutes on each side just to melt the cheese, and when the cheese is melted it will stick the whole thing together, which is nice. This is our finished quesadilla, and I'm just going to cut this so you can... Pizzadilla, sorry. I'm going to cut this so you
Last
can
time
see
you cut it into 4.
No, I cut it into 3.
Because
So you can see inside how yummy it is.
Ooh, ooh, I didn't do it.